Hey, y'all. Let's tune in. Just want to go in to yourself. All right. Now we're going to tune you up. The way we're going to do that is by finding what it is that needs tuning up and just fine tuning it to where it's more aligned. So drop in with me. Let's see what we got. Let's start with an animal. We want animal medicine to first guide us with its lovely fur babiness. What do we get for my collective? What do we get? What do we get? Who are you? What's up, boo? What's up, homie? Up. Lynx. Are you a little bit secretive? Do you like to keep your privacy? Do you stay in the shadows a little bit? Not like in the negative sense of the shadow, but strategically maneuvering, maybe walking behind a tree instead of revealing your presence or revealing your trajectory. I mean, this card for Lynx calls it discernment. So you would need discernment to discern like where to set your paw down. Lynx, I think of them moving very slow in the snow. So where am I going to step? What path am I going to take? Like, oh, I hear a sound over there. I'm going to move away from it. That kind of thing. Oh, my little Lynx just about tore everything off the counter. Just about cut my finger open. You want to come up? Come on. He threw himself. Come on up. He threw himself at the counter so hard that he did one of these, ah! And the mic started to be drugged down. Come on up. Come on. You can make that jump. Good boy. Here he is. Apparently, you've got some cat energy, my friend. I mean, this cat just threw himself into your reading, dude. He wants to be part of it. He's trying to get cozy, but let me just show you this guy. See him? Okay, get cozy. He's cozying up in my lap. Okay, so you got cat energy. My name is Kat, by the way. Thanks for being here. If you found this one, dude, you're definitely a day one. See if you'll be a long time ride or die day one, dude. Hang tight with me. Let's see if this is meant to be. Okay, so Lynx, the discernment card, it also says look beyond immediate appearances. Okay? So he's discerning beyond the initial appearance that he's given. So, for example, go into some spiritual communities, right? Maybe like you're focusing on being wholesome, healthy, spiritually healing yourself rather than languishing in just old patterns and old programs that you were given as a kid and as a young adult. Let's say you're fine tuning yourself. You're trying to discern what to do with yourself in the world, right? Well, the sad thing that I've found about these spiritual groups, you bring this pure heart to it, thinking, this will be the place of wholesomeness. This will be the place where I can connect and commune and have community without toxicity. Oh, I don't have to go to a bar to make friends. We're here at this dance or song circle thing that's supposedly pure, right? You think that's what you're going for. The thing is, you gotta still have your links on. You gotta walk with discernment still. Just because you're in a spiritual group doesn't mean you're now safe. Just because it's not the bar doesn't mean there's not some guy who's going to manipulate and coerce you, desiring to get in your pants or whatever they desire from you. You might, in fact, run into the worst demons in this circle. You'd maybe prefer a bar demon to one of these masked demons that shows up at a spiritual group and gives you a hug and asks how you're doing and offers food and maybe even offers a free healing session. They're so sweet. And do you see how I'm just talking like this? Like, you would never think that somebody talking like this and offering healing is going to hurt you. But, dude, they very well might. It's happened to me. These spiritual groups are like icky places. Icky. Because that false light, hop on down. You know, like I literally, like if you lived in my town, you would literally probably imagine 2 or 3 people specifically that I'm talking about right now, because they talk like and it's just disgusting. But when you first meet it, why would you ever go, oh, boo, get away from me, you're a danger? You wouldn't. You would do what? You would smile back. You would match their politeness and their kindness, and you say thank you, and oh, I would love to, right? So now they've pulled you into this false light, but now you're part of it because you're la 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 with them, and you don't know up from down anymore because we're being nice. This is just sweet, nice talk. But no, the devil speaks in a soft voice. So you want to have discernment. You want to look beyond the initial appearance. So how do we do this? Well, one of the things is a lot of us, like, our discernment has been skewed by childhood trauma, if it was bad enough, and maybe by some adulthood trauma too. Complex PTSD will be discussed and nurtured and cared for on this channel, because boy, do I know complex PTSD when it just comes and hits you layer after layer. You know what I'm saying? I digress. I feel like this is going too long or something. Like, should I just stop and redo it? I'll just continue. Look, the thing is, you got to use discernment. You cannot assume that spiritual people are well-meaning. They might even believe that they're well-meaning. So you can't sense that their motive is skewed because they don't even admit it to themselves. So you're going to have to really develop discernment. And if you know you have a problem feeling your gut instinct, due to childhood trauma that was severe, then nobody ever told me this, but I'll tell you, because it took me years to figure this out. I kept wondering. It's like, your discernment is not calibrated right now. You are in a phase of life for a while longer where you don't have good discernment. You don't have awareness of what your gut is telling you or what your heart is telling you. I know that's terrible news because you're like, what am I going to do? Well, that was my despair too. But I just made it through some years of it, so don't worry, you can make it through too. But you are going to need to prioritize your healing, because the longer you spend in this state, the more vulnerable you are to further attacks. And there are people who would seek to take your little childhood traumatized self and traumatize it some more. And those people exist within spiritual groups. It's toxic as fuck. It's surprising as hell. It's a real big disappointment. Super sad because, like I said, I went there bringing my pure, wholesome heart, expecting to have it in a pure, wholesome atmosphere. And instead became fresh meat for them, for certain ones, to target for their own exploitations. And one of the things is that some of us, if you were traumatized in childhood severely enough, sometimes that correlates with you being a unique person of a grand amount of light and power. So if you were born with a ton of power and light, you might be more of a target, especially in spiritual groups. Because spiritual groups contain people keen on spiritual stuff, sometimes even psychic. They might literally see light pouring out of your body that you don't see, and they go, ooh-wee, yummy yum. And there are a variety of ways that they can latch on and harvest that energy from you without you even realizing it and without you knowing that you're giving consent to it. And some of these ways are just by saying yes to a free healing session. Now they're putting their hands on you and you've consented, but you don't know their psychic power. You don't know their spiritual motives. You don't know what they're seeing on you and what they're not telling you and what they're going to do with that information. So I think it's funny. I was going to go into whole reading, but we've already spent most of the time just talking about Lynx discernment and how important it is to walk with choiceful consciousness and discernment and to be aware maybe my discernment's not even working right yet. So I'm going to have to be incredibly exclusive with who I let in. I'm going to have to employ some other tools to find out truth. It's just going to be a hard time period where you may need to insulate yourself while you get healed. And it may be lonesome because you may not be able to find new people and realize actual trust. You might just not know. You might have to let it be unknown for some time. If you did have someone you could trust who had a super pure field, was incredibly spiritually hygienic with themselves, and did like muscle testing, other types of modalities, body code, stuff like this, where they could use a pendulum and help you get a yes no answer for yourself, that could help. But now that person is a really big key for you. And if that person becomes compromised or it turns out they've been compromised the whole time you've known them, now you've just let the wolf in sheep's clothing in. So it's really, really hard. So I really would just prioritize healing yourself so that you can get your own discernment on as soon as possible. In the meantime, yeah, do your best. You know, you're kind of in triage. Like it's just the way it is. Like you've taken a beating in your life. You don't have the same function as everybody else. You've got to use extra care and caution for now until you get your discernment online, especially in spiritual groups. You know, if there's someone you can ask to gain more details about someone, maybe you can do that. But frankly, it's just hard when you have CPTSD bad enough to cut you off from your discernment. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't know if I'm going to make this message shareable. I don't know if I'm going to upload it. It's a little weird, a little dark. I feel like I rambled. I just feel like I bored you. But then again, I'm like, I feel like I'm tuning into somebody who's like, holy fuck, I needed to hear this, and I don't care how much rambling I have to listen through. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Maybe I'll try to shoot it again later, and if that one goes better, I'll post that one. But maybe I'll give you this one. So if you're seeing it, know that this is a little golden nugget, because these messages that we content creators sometimes hold back, like they might have some real gold in them, but we had to hold it back for some strategic reason. So chew it up, nom it up. Let's get this here so I can stop this. I can't believe he almost tore that down. That was crazy. I'm going to just set that there. And thank you so much for coming. Your tune-up is going to be working on your discernment. You're going to need somebody to trust. So I hope you've got somebody in mind that's a practitioner you can trust. And if not, you're going to just like need to start dabbling, like trying different practitioners, seeing what you find. And that will be a time where you get to practice discernment as you go. And yeah, maybe I should make a video about what you should do to find a practitioner you trust. All right. Well, thanks a lot for listening to the rambles. Take care. Much love.